18% of adults in the UK are offline. Digital inclusion is about helping those people get online and take advantage of all of the benefits of digital.
The government digital strategy is made up of 14 actions just now, and we're adding a 15th action to show our commitment to digital inclusion.
The 15th action on digital inclusion is about collaborating with partners across public sector, voluntary sector, private sector to help people go online. Digital inclusion matters a great deal for individuals, for small businesses, for small charities. There are a variety of advantages of being online, ranging from an individual searching for a job, getting a job, a small business able to kind of sell their products online, a small charity being able to raise donations and seek donations online.
There's broader benefits as well in tackling social issues in terms of isolation, in terms of health and well-being, and actually it supports economic growth. Digital inclusion is a problem that government can't solve alone, so we're working with partners from across the public, private and voluntary sector to develop a strategy and a series of actions that we will take together.
We will be publishing a set of principles, digital inclusion principles, early in the new year, which we want to consult very widely on and hear comments and thoughts, suggestions, so please look out for those, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Welcome to the importance of social inclusion. We're going to explore why social inclusion is so important to health and how we can improve on it together.
So what is social inclusion? You may have heard of it before, or something similar, like social exclusion, cohesion, or capital. These are not all the same thing. When talking about social inclusion, there are lots of different definitions. One used in Australia refers to whether each individual in a community has the ability, resources, and opportunity to
learn. Can someone participate in education or training? Work. Can they participate in paid employment or unpaid volunteer opportunities? Engage. Can they participate with others, connect with local services, or engage with cultural or recreational activities? And have a voice. Do they have the ability and the opportunity to influence decisions that affect them?
From this definition, we can see who are typically excluded socially, including single parents, people who have long-term health conditions or disabilities, elderly people, and people from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds, to name only a few. Why is this important? Why does this matter to health? Because these people who are socially excluded have poorer health outcomes, while people who are socially included have better physical health outcomes and mental health outcomes. Also, the United Nations, in their Sustainable Development Goals, emphasise the need to ensure inclusion for the most vulnerable in any population. This is a global responsibility that we are a part of.
How socially inclusive a community is can be measured by looking at participation numbers, sense of belonging, empowerment, and overall quality of life. You can measure participation with indicators like number of people in paid employment or unpaid volunteering, or participation in education or training. You can measure sense of belonging with indicators like participation in social and community activities. You can measure empowerment with indicators like participation in community action. And you can measure quality of life with indicators like perceptions of personal safety or fear of discrimination. Let's look at how simple it is to use these indicators. For example, volunteer rates are a participation indicator. Volunteering can show a purposeful contribution to society, perhaps as a pathway to employment or social inclusion. Volunteering is linked to employment and income, with those who earn more likely to engage by volunteering. At this point, you may be wondering how Australia is doing. Let's look at Victoria's social inclusion indicators. You may think that Australia is doing pretty well. We're all equal, right? Unfortunately, the Social Exclusion Monitor shows a difference in social exclusion depending on whether you are female or male. These indicators show that women are more excluded than men at any age. Here is another example. The Mapping Social Cohesion Survey presented public opinion on social inclusion and diversity. Again, although Australia is highly diverse in people from different backgrounds, faiths and languages, not everyone is socially included, and it's getting worse. In fact, discrimination in Australia because of skin colour, ethnic origin or religion has been increasing since 2007. Let's look at this example from suburbs in Melbourne's west and north, comparing engagement with countries of birth, where if you were born in a country other than Australia, you are less likely to be engaged and more likely to be socially excluded. Another, comparing feelings of safety with how close-knit or socially inclusive the community is. With these civic health indicators, you can see how areas with higher perceptions of community closeness generally have more people who feel safe when walking alone at night. In other words, higher proportions of people who feel safe indicate higher levels of trust and social cohesion within the community. Indicators around people's ability to engage in learning, work, community, and having a voice are all a part of social inclusion, and social inclusion is for everyone. By improving these, you ultimately improve physical and mental health outcomes, and that's the important thing. Meaningfully engaging with communities is our first step to improving social inclusion. Learn about some of the approaches, techniques, and tools that can be used to help us do this well. You can do this by learning more about social inclusion and all the ways it impacts you and others. Read about examples of social inclusion in all different settings. Learn how organisational support and structures impact social inclusion, and what peak bodies and other associations work on this issue. You can download a free copy of this practice guide here. Or read more about how to measure indicators around social inclusion here. No one organisation can improve overall social inclusion alone. Be a part of the movement. Join collaborative efforts so everyone can be socially included.